As David's life closes, he charged Solomon to walk in God's ways and also to deal with lingering threats to the kingdom. Solomon begins his reign with both wisdom and necessary judgment securing his throne. Yeah, he's going to clean up everything. You'll see. The first part of the chapter covers David's last words to Solomon. David tells Solomon, "Be strong, act like a man." But now he's old. His voice will be like, "Be strong, act like a man, and observe what the Lord your God requires. Walk in obedience, that you may prosper in all you do." He reminds him of God's promise, okay? If David's descendants remain faithful, there will always be a king on Israel's throne. The heart of David's charge is faithfulness to God's covenant, right? The second part of the chapter covers David's warnings about enemies. David names unresolved threats. Joab, guilt of killing Abner, check 2 Samuel chapter 3, and Amasa, 2 Samuel chapter 20, in peacetime. So Joab, guilty of killing Abner and Amasa in peacetime, right? Do not let his gray head go down to grave in peace. Barzillai's sons, bless them and show kindness for their loyalty during David's exile. Shimei, son of Gera, the man who cursed David, and David had sworn not to kill him, but tell Solomon, "You are a man of wisdom. Bring his gray head down to the grave in blood." David leaves Solomon both mercy and finished justice to handle wisely. The third part of this chapter covers, that David dies. Okay, David dies. So David dies after a 40-year reign. 7 years in Hebron, 33 years in Jerusalem. Solomon sits on the throne, and his kingdom is firmly established. The fourth part of this chapter covers Adonijah's fatal request. Adonijah, who had tried to seize the throne in chapter 1, the previous chapter, right, asks Bathsheba to request Abishag as his wife. Okay, yeah. So the guy requested to Abishag as his wife, right? And Abishag is David's attendant. So Solomon sees this as hidden bid for the throne. Marrying a former royal woman could imply a claim to kingship, right? So what did he do? What did he do? Solomon orders Adonijah's execution. Mercy was given once in chapter 1, so Adonijah's ambition surfaces again and costs him his life. Right? The fifth part of the chapter covers Abiathar, the priest, banished. So Solomon spares Abiathar's life, but removes him from the priesthood for supporting Adonijah. This fulfills the word of the Lord against Eli's house. Even political moves fulfill God's larger prophecies, okay? And this thing about Eli's house happened in the First Samuel chapter 2, okay? Verses 31 and 35. So the second part, sorry for the hand. The sixth part of the chapter covers Joab executed. Joab flees to the altar, but Solomon orders Benaiah to strike him down there. Joab is killed for his murders of Abner and Amasa. Benaiah becomes commander of the army, and Zadok replaces Abiathar as priest. Justice is carried out, and Solomon's circle of loyal leaders is solidified, right? Then we got the seventh part, where Shimei executed. Solomon initially spares Shimei, ordering him to stay in Jerusalem under house arrest. Shimei agrees, but 3 years later he leaves to retrieve runaway slaves. Solomon calls him out. "You swore an oath. You knew the terms. You brought this on yourself." Shimei is executed. Solomon shows patience, but also firmness in enforcing justice, right? So, what are the key lessons from this chapter, from 1 Kings chapter 2? The first lesson is true strength is obedience to God. David's final charge shows that covenant faithfulness is the foundation of kingship. Second lesson, unfinished justice must be addressed. Solomon secures peace by wisely dealing with threats left unresolved. Third lesson, ambition can be hidden for long. Adonijah's request for Abishag exposed his pride and cost him his life. The final lesson is God fulfills his word through history. Even political reshuffles fulfill old prophecies, right? Um, like Abiathar's removal. So, in summary, David charged Solomon to walk faithfully before God and deal wisely with lingering threats. After David's death, Solomon secures his throne by executing Adonijah, Joab, and Shimei, and banishing Abiathar. His reign begins with both covenant faithfulness and strong justice, right? So the next chapter, Solomon asks God for wisdom, and his request shapes his reign. Okay, don't stick with me to the next chapter. We're going to cover all of this. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share, and drop a comment right here.